Hello and welcome to this devlog. My name is Shane. I'm a level designer on GrimRail. This is a new IP by Infinite Loop Studios. And today we're going to be going through a section of the level that I worked on that had a lot of player readability concerns. When we started, this is one of our older builds, and we had some player readability concerns as they're going through here. And I wanted to go through how we changed the level and the interactions to help players figure out where they need to go and how they can progress. Let's jump in. In GrimRail, we have an encounter in the hospital where you reach a doctor's office, get trapped, and you have to figure a way out. Our first iteration was our roughest, being sparing on holding the player's hand. So here we have the iteration of build 0.4. Once you get trapped, player gets left to your own devices. You don't really know a way out of here. We don't hold your hand, like I said, and it's kind of tough to know the way to go forward because we don't really train the player beforehand to interact with any drawers or anything that you need to progress, as you need to do here, where you open a drawer and you find a key. Now, once you get this key, it's still unclear as to what you're supposed to do with this key, as nothing has changed when you picked up the key. You can try it on the desk over here, but nothing will happen. What really needs to happen is the player needs to turn 180 around and see that the hallway behind them has changed. Even when they turn around, they might not directly see that the hallway has changed behind them. Now, we have really talked about this and hashed this over as to how we can move forward with readability and how we can make this encounter less of a annoyance and more streamlined and readable. There's quite a difference here. And one of the key differences is that, first of all, when you step in, you're gonna get some sound effect that tells you that you've been closed off. And when you read the story, which we're going to have some lines, like some voice lines for this, it'll tell you that you need to find a key. So they'll physically tell you in the story that you need to find a key for Dr. Lang's desk. Now, beforehand, we have a lot of coaching for the player to use one of the abilities that they have gained as they've been playing the game, and that is the radio ability. So beforehand, the player has been very, very coached on, okay, I need to use this radio to help me to get around the hospital. And then once they get here and they get trapped, one of the things they will definitely be incentivized to try out is their radio. And the radio will hint you at where you need to go. You can see that some things have changed around this area once you've used the radio. And now up in the top left, you'll also see that we've gotten some quest objectives. And it's also telling us where we need to go. You open the drawer, and I just know where to look, but the player might look all around here trying to find the key. And they finally find it over here. Once they pick up the key, they get a quest objective finish, and they know they have progressed. And they also get some indicators and some feedback through the art in the game that tells them that they've done something that has changed the environment around them, and they can use that to progress the story. Now, we've also made some fixes as well. You know, as we were testing this, there's been a lot of issues with players being able to cheat the system, you know, jump up onto the desk to grab the key. So we made a lot of fixes so player can't cheat their way to the next step, but they know where they need to go. They need to go and try to pick that key up at the top there. So one of the things they could try, they see this wall disappearing and they see a wall disappearing up there. They can go through that vent over there. And one thing I do also want to point out here is they can try the desk as well, and they can open some of these drawers, but they're going to notice that there's one very important drawer that they can't open, and they need to find the key to open. The idea here is wherever the player goes, whether it's the path that I took and I've immediately found the key and had it go up to the top there, or they go straight to the desk to try to open it, they're gonna know that they need to find the key to open that important drawer there. So we're gonna go through here, we're gonna pick this key up, we're gonna get some feedback here. Once you get over to the desk, we'll see that this drawer can open. Now we just have the key card out here. This is a work in progress as well. That is something that should be said. The idea is that you can now open this drawer that was previously locked. You can pick this key card up. Once you pick the key card up, you look up and you're like, okay, we got an elevator key card. Where do we use that? If you look over here, so you heard the door shut behind you when you came in. And now when you pick the key card up, you're going to see this wall disappear. It was there before, but now that you have picked up the key card, it's disappeared. And that was a guide through of kind of where we're going with this. We want to have a quest system that tells you these are the objectives that you have to finish to progress the quest. And we also want to have feedback with each quest objective finished that tells you that you've progressed the quest objective even without having to look at the quest system at the top. Now, I hope that gets you excited to play our game. We have a lot more quests, and updates coming. I'll see you guys later. Thank you.